More shotguns.
Syndicate. What we have here is a perfectly good shotgun in every respect, ruined by bullet sponge enemies. It's a very polished game, but a great example of how the entire shooting experience can be completely tripped up by not making enemies react every time. Enemies have a great array of realistic animations and decent AI, so it's such a shame to see it's not used 100%. Limbs can detach, but it seems odd as they take such a pummeling from the same force with no problem. The alt-fire explosive rounds use the same ammo, some nanotech trickery going on there, which is all good as they do what you hope in game, except the usual annoying screen-filling pump animation between shots in this mode hampers your ability to judge how well that explosive landed. Borderlands 2! As there's many variations of shotgun in this game, I'll show you a few, but this won't be an individual review of each possible shotgun you can find due to the RNG nature of these weapons. What I can say is that they're all decent, but all feel on the light and floaty side for my liking. We have high quality modelling and animation, with passable sound effects and pretty projectiles that are all over the place, in a good way. Impacts on enemies are variable, but not bad. There are some really nice stagger and wounded animations in there. The problem with a game like this is you're going to get bullet sponges half the time, which grinds my gears. I don't care how much shield they have, they should at least flinch and drop their aim when taking a belly full of buckshot. Put them off balance, or give enemies low self-esteem. So many ways to remove shooting a static object, which is never on anyone's wishlist for FPS games. There are 5 makes of weapon, but they pretty much all do the same thing, until the projectiles come something more exotic, like the rocket launching shotgun. It looks pretty, but the effect on the enemy doesn't change much, but maybe you found one that rips them to shreds every time. That's why I can't do individual gun reviews for this game, but as a whole they rate very well, and I'm happy to bestow a cross-section average score of 8 out of 10 for this game's shotguns.
That wasn't so difficult.
Dishonored. Wait a minute, what do we have here? Pistol bullet upgrade. Well, it's not a shotgun for the series, but noting it here for its close range spread effect. Halo 4. The M45D tactical shotgun is one of the meanest models I've ever seen. Very sci-fi and blends into the far future scenery too. The fire rate matches the enemies well, and its longer effective range is very welcome. We still have great enemy impacts and reactions when you have this weapon, mostly against the Covenant. The biggest change along with the cool model is the sound. It's truly unique and I find it to be a very satisfying sharp sonic burst. Still no alt fire or ammo types, and yeah, still no grease. The bolt shot looks, sounds and animates phenomenally well. Such a breath of fresh air to handle something so unique. Now for the gripes. You don't normally fight the usual Covenant enemies from Halo when you have this. It's much more likely to be used against a new enemy type that just doesn't do it for me. It's a grind and feels like shooting emotionless metal slabs. Yes, when you nail it just right, it can be satisfying, but only because you know how annoying the fight would be if you've missed that clinical headshot.
Chief, look this.
The particle effects also fly off in the wrong direction, obscuring your view and can easily confuse where your shot actually landed. Mixed bag. The scatter shot is another great looking and animating weapon. The way enemies disintegrate is a pleasurable ASMR affair too, which you'll get a lot more of with this. The shot sound itself is a bit weird for me, however, sounds too organic. It's more subjective this time, but I definitely didn't get that wow factor from hearing it. Projectiles now reflect off walls, which is a neat touch, albeit not too useful. The much higher rate of fire is what sets this gun apart from the rest, and as a sci-fi energy weapon, it's all the better for it. It makes killing things a bit more fun, less of a grind. Aliens, Colonial Marines, or as I like to call it, a very good Borderlands 2 Aliens mod. Weapons are animated like in Borderlands with a lightweight feel and cartoon-like motion.
Contact! Contact! Here we go!
It's tone deaf for an Aliens game and has no gravitas at all. It sounds and looks well below par too. The weapon animation is overly frantic in every cycle. I normally complain that pump-action shotguns have a lethargic pump, but here we have an example of going off on the other end of the scale. The weapon needed holding steady for that fire rate. Impacts on enemies are passable, you get decent sound and visual cues, but nowhere near enough acid mess, and every hit creates a shower of blue sparks, which is absurd and once again tone deaf for an Aliens game. The magic from nowhere alt-fire grenade round is proper odd too, but at least cracks open xenomorph skulls on impact. Later you get fletchet rounds with a slightly different sound and narrower spread, but almost exactly the same effect. It's a forgettable shotgun and a shame for the series. Now this is the best shotgun in the game, has a proper rate of fire that matches the weapon, sounds nicer and has a bit more weight to it. The two alt-fire modes, electric stun and incendiary rounds, are very welcome too. Although it's again a bit comical seeing an alien shuddering in place like a slapstick cartoon. Did these guys actually watch the Alien films? It's better, but still a long way off what a 2013 game should be giving us by now. A pretty weak entry that I think came as a DLC. Feels lightweight and has no amazing impact on enemies beyond the normal shotgun. It needed to have supreme power in each shot, but just falls flat. We also get a few underslung shotgun mods for the other weapons. It's just the same lightweight buckshot, but with a slower rate of fire. It doesn't differ much from the DB shotgun, so I'll round them up together here. Please consider supporting on Patreon.
I love it.